All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're talking about something really interesting happening in East Africa. What happens when two of the continent's most vibrant capitals, Nairobi and Addis Ababa, suddenly get a whole lot closer? And trust me, this is way more than just a new bus route. It's a story about a huge opportunity, some clever thinking, and a journey that, until now, was just plain out of reach for most people. For years and years, if you wanted to travel directly between Nairobi and Addis Ababa, you had one option: get on a plane. And that meant shelling out a lot of money. But that has all changed. A direct bus service connecting these two massive cities isn't just a dream or some plan on a whiteboard anymore. It's real. It's finally here. And that's the big question, right? You've got two major economic hubs, tons of people, tons of goods. So why on earth didn't this route exist years ago? To really get why this is such a game changer, you first have to understand the problem that travelers have been stuck with for so long. Okay, so first things first. Let's get into the details of this brand new route to Addis. The company making it all happen is Abyssinia Luxury Coach. Just last week, they kicked off the first ever direct cross-border bus service that takes you all the way from Nairobi to Addis Ababa and back again. And let me be clear, this isn't one of those trips that just drops you at the border. No, this is the whole shebang, the complete journey, door to door. So you've got to wonder, why was this massive opportunity just sitting there, waiting for someone to grab it? Well, let's take a look at the gap in the market. At its core, the problem was really simple. It came down to money. A direct trip between Nairobi and Addis meant flying, and flying was expensive. So expensive, in fact, that it basically acted like a giant wall, stopping everything from new business deals to families just wanting to visit each other. So how did we get to this point? Well, rewind about 4 years. A different company, called Royal Allied, tried to crack this. They started a bus service from Nairobi, but it only went to the border town of Mayala. So travelers were left with this terrible choice: pay a fortune for a flight or get on a bus that leaves you stranded at the border to figure out the rest of your trip. That was the gap. And last week, Abyssinia Coach finally closed. You know, the director of Abyssinia Luxury Coach, Michael James Machio, he just nailed it. He summed up the whole situation perfectly when he said there was a gap at the time. It's really that simple. He saw that there was this huge demand from people who were completely priced out of flying, and he realized nobody was stepping up to meet it. And that brings us to the company that saw that gap and decided to jump right in. So yeah, this is the company that's at the absolute center of this story. They're the ones who didn't just notice the problem, but actually went out and built the solution from the ground up. And behind the company is the director, Michael James Machio. His experience with that earlier bus line, the one that only went halfway, gave him this really unique insight. He knew exactly what was missing: a route that went all the way. Okay, this all sounds fantastic, but let's be honest. It really comes down to one big question. What's the price of a ticket? I mean, we're talking about a 750-kilometer journey here. That's a serious distance. So what's the magic number that makes this a real, true alternative to getting on a plane? Here it is, 7,500 Kenyan shillings. That's the one-way price. And that single number, right there, just opens up this entire route to thousands and thousands of people who were completely shut out before. It's a total game changer.
And if you want a round trip, it's 15,000 shillings. For our friends traveling from Ethiopia, that's about 16,000 birr. It's simple, it's predictable, and most importantly, it's actually affordable.
So this is the new reality. Before, your choice was pretty grim. Pay a massive premium for a direct flight or just don't go. But now there's a powerful second option on the table, one that's both direct and affordable. It completely rewrites the rules for travel between these two powerhouse cities. So what's the big picture here? I mean, what really happens when you connect two capital cities in a way that's this accessible? This is the real takeaway. You know, a route like this is so much more than just asphalt and wheels. It's like a brand new artery for commerce, for culture, for human connection. It's literally pumping opportunity between two of the region's most important economic hearts. All of a sudden, doing business gets easier, visiting your relatives gets cheaper, and sharing cultures becomes a real possibility for so many more people. So let's just recap what we've talked about. We saw a massive gaping hole in the travel market between two of East Africa's biggest cities. We saw a sharp entrepreneur step in and finally connect them with an option people can actually afford. And what we're left with isn't just a bus route, it's a powerful lesson in how to see a problem and build the bridge to solve it.
And this leaves us with one final thought, looking to the future. Now that this artery is open and flowing, what happens next? What new businesses, what new partnerships, what amazing new ideas are going to be born from this connection? That, right there, is the next exciting chapter of this story. Thanks for joining us on The Explainer.